Hi students, how are you all? Welcome in our SS lecture and we have chapter 9 Human Environment. In this chapter, we have already seen about human environment. You know well that human being, they settle at one place. Means in earlier time, human beings were moving from one place to another place in search of food, water, and shelter. But then, after some time, they settled at one place and they learned to grow crops, agriculture, learn to domesticate animal, and he settled at one place nearby the river bodies or water bodies or valleys or mountain. Then small towns, villages, big towns, trade centers, rural that settlement. This all happen that settlements like compact settlement, scattered, linear, radial, and circular settlement. Then the town settlement happen. Some different kind of towns like administrative town and industrial town and cultural and some religious town. Then defense town and residential town, port town, mining town. These all town came and human beings settled at one place. So with the development, human being also develop different things like the invention of discovery of wind and fire. It is one of the remarkable discovery. It brought great change in human beings' life. Then they developed that transport facility. They're moving from one place to another place. People need to move from one place to another place for work, to buy goods and to sell goods and for to meet relatives, for journey and to meet friends, for medical and to enjoy their holidays. They move from one place to another place. That is, it needs that transport. It needs transport. So for that, various different kind of means of transport they develop. That activities are there. Like people and good relief that features economic activities are there and determine the development of transport. Transport facility, that is depend on the place on it is depend on the condition of that place, depend on the situation of that place, and mountains, forested, and that desert region, that different that transport facilities are available. For example, mountains are there are different facility. Deserts, that different transport facility, and that flat areas are there, plateaus. They have that different that transport facility. You know that different kind of transport facilities are available nowadays and is well developed in a different part of our country. So in our country, transport facility is there. It is different in different area. So on the other hand, we can see plains identically, then some flat areas they have different facilities, and transport network is there. It is different. So well, there are four major different kind of that transport medium there. That is roadways, airways, railways, waterways. So these four types of that transport that medium is there. that transport includes that different modes of transport, that roadways is the most famous and in all over the world. Then railways is there, it is also greatly spread in all over the world. Airways is there, it is connecting that most of the countries, and waterways also it connect most of the countries. So there are these four modes of that transport are there. So in this all, that first is there is the roadways. Roadways are the most that widespread and that universal that modes of transport. It is most common in all over the world. Most common means of transport in all over the world. They are a common means of transport of goods and passengers over short distance. Road means of transport means to carry goods and passengers for a short distance, and road may be that metal or unmetal, means in plains and cities, and they have different areas, and nowadays road are connected with the most of the part of our countries. Most of the villages are also today connected with the big cities through the roads, and road builds, underground roads are there, they are called that subways, and roads are built over the that 11s from the ground level, they are called that flyover, over bridges or flyover. So today, mostly that countries they have that modern highways, and some national highways are there. They are built to transport that goods and people. You know, Mostly they are connecting the whole country, all states, and mostly that all villages and all states, big cities are connected with the highways. The national highway system has been developed and like to link various that cities in India. The Golden Quadrilateral has been constructed to construct and to connect that major cities like Delhi, Mumbai, then Chennai and Kolkata. The Manali and Leh highway is there in India. It is the one of the highest roadways in India. So roadways are there. That most probably that things are there. That is connected with the highways. Most of the villages are also nowadays they are connected with the highways. That subways are there. They connect village to the highways. Highways are there. They connect most of the towns and big cities, and some national highways are there. They are connecting that states with with the whole country. Then railways. Railways provide a larger network. It means it is the largest means of communication over the long distance, and it can carry people and that goods in large quantity to all parts of our country. The development of that railway it affects that the climate and clearance of that regions and density population of that place, and some natural that resources, and the level of economic and technology that is developed on railway. Electric and diesel engines are able to travel very fast speed, and hence super fast trains are there that runs in many states and many routes. They are connecting most of the states. First of all, diesel and coal engine while working, they transport many passengers and goods from one place to another place with a short that time, and large quantities goods are transported from one place to another place. that makes that super fast trains are there. They makes train journey very easy and comfortable, and the fastest modes of transport. With the modern technology, railways have been are able to place even in hilly area and forest area also, that railways are connected, like Western Ghat on, that Simla line is there, and yes, it is connected with many that villages. The line running through the Western Ghats and the Kalka Simla route, that is the example of that. The in outside the countries like London and UK, there are mostly railways connecting most of the parts. You know, the Eastern Europe and the Trans of Siberia, and the railways are longest railway. The Trans Siberian railways are the longest railway. It is about 9,289 kilometers long. So railway carries a lot of quantities of good and transport. Airways is the fastest means of transport, and it can reach that remote and forest and mountains also. It can reach the regions where the transport and railways facilities are not available. There, airways can reach. It is the fastest means of transport, but it is very cheapest. It is very costliest, and goods and medicines can be transported by the airways, and places by in a short period of time through the airways. Medicines and transported medicines and goods were transported in the area affected by the flood, earthquake, or any natural calamity affected area. In short period of time, that goods and medicine can reach there. It is very expensive, and it may get disrupted bad weather like fog and rains and storm. In that fog, rain and storm, it will not work. It is restricted, and in some natural disaster, natural calamity, it is very helpful to transport medicine and some goods for the people. There are two types of air services. They are that domestic and international. Domestic, that airlines are there. They carry that like that carry passengers and cargo within the country. While the international that airlines are there, they carry goods and some means passengers. International level from one country to another country, they carry goods and passengers from one country to another country. USA, Europe, South Africa, South Asia, India, and they are the well developed countries, and they have big airports. The main international airports of that world are London, Tokyo, Washington, then New York, Shanghai, Delhi, Mumbai, and Paris, Dubai, Mysore, Melbourne, and Sydney. They are the that international airports. Waterways are there. Waterways are another that important means of transport, and they are the cheapest modes of transport for carrying goods and passengers from one country to another country. Mostly waterways are there. It is connected with the sea routes and water bodies, and they are carrying goods from one place to another place through the water bodies like canals, rivers, seas, and oceans. Another that advantage of this waterways is that no routes have to be made, and for them the natural that route is there, like a water or river or sea. Waterways are there two types. They are that inland waterways and the sea route. Inland waterways, navigable lakes, canals, and rivers are made up in inland waterways. They are very, economically in transport that bulks and goods and coal, then grains and some important that industrial that features are there, that waterways and Great Lakes in North America, and Ganga Brahmaputra river is there, that routes are useful for waterways. In India, the river Nile in Egypt and important canals and that serves important that inland waterways. Sea routes are there. Seas and oceans are the another useful medium for that transport of food and passengers from one country to the another country. And these routes are there. They are connected by the sea ports, or some important ports are there like Tokyo and Shanghai, then London, Cape Town, New York, Mumbai. These all are that ports are there, very important sea routes are there. The North Atlantic is the busiest sea route, and the areas around are densely that populated and highly that industrialized. The Mediterranean Sea route, it is the ocean, the route is there, it is the second that busiest route. It connects between that Europe and far that and Australia. Then the Cape of Good Hope is there, links the far west and south that America and West America. This there. Then communication is there. The process of conveying or receiving that information of ideas that is there is called that communication. Two types of communications are there, that are the personal communication and mass communication. Two people convey messages, that is called that personal communication. But more than two people at the same time that communicate with many people, that is called that mass communication. Two people communication is called personal communication, but more than two people communicate with majority of people, that is called that mass communication. Mass communication is done through the internet, newspaper, books, radio, television, and phones and films. And the means of that personal communications include that telegraph, post system, then telephone, email, fax. And in olden days, most probably that people send messages through that birds and animals, and then people started writing letters, and the advantage of happened. Then they were divided. The letters were delivered through the roadways, airways, or waterways, but it takes more time. And then with the development of technology and development of science, wireless and means of communication, telephone, telegraph, fax, and nowadays internet is the most that useful medium of that communication. And internet is used for mass communication and for personal communication also. And electronic cell phones, cellular phones are today, they are also medium of that personal and mass communication. All these mediums of communications are there that provides information, education and entertainment. They are useful tools for to get information and to get, they are the most valuable that tools for education, business, to get information, and for medical and science. And in each and every field that modern technologies and communications are used. So these are that communications and that mediums of transport. I hope you understand this all well. Okay. Thank you children. Bye.